Look at these Indian political party symbols: a hand bicycle, a broom, and even an elephant. But have you wondered why these Indian political party symbols are so strange and outdated? But for that, we have to understand why these symbols are so important for the political parties. In India, about one third of the population cannot read. So these symbols make it easier for the political parties to reach out to their voters. Symbols help political parties to stand out from each other as a tactic to take away voters from opponents. Many dummy candidates with the same or similar name are often made to run the election. Even educated voters sometimes get confused with a long list of candidates. So the symbol makes it easier for the voter to quickly choose the correct candidate. During India's general election, these simple and often hand-drawn symbols are displayed next to the candidate's name on the electronic voting machines. While political party symbols often represent values or ideas, in India's system it's a little different. Instead of creating their own logos, the political parties must pick from a set of symbols provided by the Election Commission. The parties must choose 3 symbols in order of preference, after which one is allocated to them by the Election Commission of India. Once the symbol is reserved, it cannot be used by any other political party, leaving the new entrants to pick from the remaining 3 symbols. The list of symbols used by the Election Commission for the parties are created by one man, Mr. M.S. Sethi. He used to work as a draftsman for the Election Commission. He joined the commission in 1950 and retired in 1990. When India was preparing for its first election after independence, Sethi would sit with officials and sketch everyday objects, which voters would easily recognize and remember. Almost a decade after his retirement, the commission gathered all his sketches into a collection known as free symbols. This is the main reason why these symbols looks a bit sketchy, because Mr. Sethi used to hand-draw them. This list is shared across the country before every Indian general election, and the parties without a permanent symbol are given one from the collection. To reach to a larger number of people, these symbols need to be simple and free from any religious or national pride associations. For example, Taj Mahal cannot be used as a symbol. Most of these symbols are inspiration from everyday objects like food, clothing, kitchen utensils, transportation, or even sports. They are intentionally designed to be neutral. These symbols also reflect how daily life of India has changed over the years, moving towards modernity. Early symbols used to represent rural India, like a plow, an ox. In the 1960s, modern objects like the tractor, electric pilot appeared. By 2019 elections, modern objects like laptop, charger, computer mouse, and even an USB drive were added. Other modern symbols now include a gas stove and an air conditioner. There was a time when several animal symbols were available for the parties to use, but the Election Commission has stopped them because political parties started parading with real animals during the election campaign. Concerns were raised about cruelty towards animals. This led the Election Commission to step in and remove many of the animal symbols used in the list. However, few exceptions were made, allowing parties with existing animal symbol to use. For example, the Bahujan Samaj Party still uses elephant as their symbol. But what happens when one big political party divides into 2 or more smaller parties? When a split happens within a political party, the Election Commission decides which fraction can continue with the existing symbol, with breakaway parties are forced to return to the list of available symbols. Some parties were fortunate to select symbols with strong national significance early on. The Congress Party originally used 2 cows and a plow from 1952 to 1969, then switched to a heifer and calf, before settling to a palm in 1977. The cow, sacred in India, was a powerful symbol for the Congress Party, which led the non-violent struggle for independence under Mahatma Gandhi. The open palm not only symbols stock but also welcomes and greets, symbolizing transparency and goodwill. In India, the open palm is a gesture of blessing, often used by elders towards children, making it a meaningful symbol. The election symbol for BJP also changed over the years. BJP initially used oil lamp as its symbol, then switched to a man with a plow, and finally adopting the lotus flower as its symbol. The oil lamp is widely used in India, especially during Diwali, the festival of lights. The lotus flower, which grows in muddy water to bloom in clear air, symbolizes spiritual awakening and purity. While religious symbols are officially forbidden, these choices are deeply tied to spiritual and cultural meanings of Hinduism and Buddhism. At the time of India's first general election, nearly 70% of the India's population were illiterate, making these symbols very important because many of them cannot read the name of the candidates. Although the literacy rate has increased, the symbols remain and became like brand logos. The political parties are now very protective about their symbols, and during a party split, they fight fiercely to keep the original symbol. Another important symbol is a blank vote, or NOTA, none of the above. It first appeared on the voting machines in 2009 and officially been used in 2013 elections. Sometimes it is shown in full letter or as a symbol of a crossed out ballot. This was a significant change because earlier all the symbols were purely visual. There was no text involved in those symbols. These symbols are not just the clever way to bring India's 900 million voters to the polls, or another example of the country's quirky visual style used in road signs and posters, but they do tell the story of India's modernization.